So ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about the decline of the country, it's falling, it's failing, we need change more than ever. Do you know who I feel sorry for the most? The men and women that sacrificed their lives during World War II so we could keep our freedom. Because the country they fought for no longer exists. It doesn't. And if people try and sit there and go, oh, but you're living in denial. It doesn't exist any longer. If the people from that time, the people who sacrificed their lives, could see the state of our country, they would be disgusted. And that is a massive understatement. And that leads us to this clip we're going to be talking about today because it is going viral absolutely everywhere on social media. And it was from a segment on Good Morning Britain. I don't know how it's still called Good Morning Britain because we ain't Britain any longer, but they had a World War II veteran who is 100 years old, and he said the country is in a worse state now than it was back then. This is a World War II veteran saying that. My heart breaks for these people. My friends gave their lives for what? The country of today. 100-year-old World War II veteran shocks GMB host as he declares winning the war wasn't worth it because of the nation's sorry state. Echoing major new poll on STUNS Britain. Asked by Miss Garraway what Remembrance Sunday meant to him, the veteran said that he felt winning the war was not worth how the country had turned out today. His concerns about the state of the nation are shared by an increasing number of Britons, with a new survey revealing national pride has plummeted and society is more divided than ever under Sir Keir Starmer. In findings which will send alarm bells ringing in Downing Street, 8 in 10 said they felt the nation was divided, and this is up 5% points from 2 years ago and 10 points from 2020. Yeah, and we all know why. And you know what? You can thank the woke leftists, liberals, the snowflakes for what they have done to the country because they have played such a massive part, and this is why I have no respect for them whatsoever. I cannot stand these people, because they don't realise what they're doing to our country. And of course, our country is going to be divided. When the country is supposed to be, doesn't look like it any longer. Does it look like England to you today? Oh, that's racist. Shut up. Is it any wonder the country is divided? Do you know how much sadness, how much heartbreak this veteran must feel by admitting what he said? He's gone through all the difficult situations of World War II. The pain, the suffering, he's lost many friends. And then think about the hundreds of thousands of people that gave up their lives. And he sat there and he's going, you know what, it doesn't even look like it was worth it. I'm tired of all this, I really am. But let's check out this clip that is going viral. Now, it will just be a picture with the audio in the background because I want to avoid a copyright claim. But take a listen to what this World War II veteran said, man. Again, it is just so sad to hear this, it really is. Take a watch.
What does Remembrance Sunday mean for you? What is your message?
My message is, I can see in my mind's eye those rows and rows of white stones of all the hundreds of my friends and everybody else that gave their lives for what? The country of today. No, I'm sorry. The sacrifice wasn't worth the result that it is now.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
What do you mean by that, though? At this point?
What we fought for, and what we fought for was our freedom. We find that even now it's darn sight worse than what it was when I fought for it.
Oh, Alec, I'm sorry you feel like that, because I want you to know that all the generations that have come since, including me and my children, are so grateful for your bravery and all that for service personnel. And it's our job now, isn't it, to make it the country that you fought for. You absolutely fought for.
That is it.
And we will do. We want to...
I'm so wonderful to know there are people like you that can spread the word around.
We will do.
Younger generation.
And I guarantee that everybody watching at home will be wanting you to send lots of love.
You know, one thing you can tell is the host. They weren't expecting that. You have one host who goes by the name of Adol Ray, who goes, oh, what did you mean by that, though? He couldn't wait to ask that question. As soon as that veteran said what he said, he chimed in straight away. We know what the veteran means, and we know your intentions behind that question. And I'm so proud of this veteran because he is speaking for so many people within England. So many people. A lot of people feel how he feels. Do you know how much you have to F things up? F things up. For a World War II veteran to say all of that stuff? Again, think about everything someone like that has gone through. And they're sat there and they go, you know, it doesn't even look like it was worth it. The country I fought for is worse now than it was back then. But let's check out the social media reaction to this, because it is massive. Patrick Chrissy posts on X, 100-year-old veteran says this version of Britain wasn't worth fighting for. Adil Ray, who yesterday appeared to be in favour of Sharia law, says, what do you mean by that? We all know what he means, Adil. Yeah, mate, could you imagine veterans coming back today and seeing somebody being in favour of Sharia law? It is insane. And it's not only him. Think about the amount of people within England who would like the idea of Sharia law. Connor Tomlinson says, I'm sorry the sacrifice wasn't worth the result. Nothing sums up modern Britain better than a World War II veteran lamenting what our country has become, being patronised by a woman who married an architect of Blair's government and a man who yesterday said that he wants Sharia law. Then somebody else says, I have no doubt in my mind if you were to show modern Britain to the men who fought for it in both world wars, they would never have fought at all. And that is so sad to think about. Everything they fought for has been lost. Then this post by Matt Walsh, I tell you now, sums it up perfectly. This man fought for his country. Today he looks around and sees that it has surrendered itself to a third world Islamic invasion. Men like him, white men who built this country, are demonized and scapegoated, and while Arab migrants in the streets, the government focuses its energies on arresting people who say insulting things about on the internet, a travesty of historic proportions. Exactly. I couldn't put it better myself. You know, when you sit here and think about it, if the men and women of that time could see the state our country is in and they gave their opinions, what would happen? The woke mob would cancel them. That's how insane things are. You know, these men and women put their lives on the line for everything. And if they came back today and gave their opinions, the woke mob would instantly want them cancelled. Oh, how dare you say that that's racist? This is why I say these sort of people have ruined our country. The men of that time would not believe how cowardly men are today. The women of that time would not believe what women are doing and saying today. White men, like that veteran, built this country, yet they are, as Matt Walsh says, demonized and condemned. And it's perfectly normal. It's normal for people to demonize and condemn white men who built the country. But you say anything else the other way around, oh, you're the worst person on the planet. We have allowed our streets, because we're so weak, to be full of crime. We have allowed our country to accept everybody and anybody from whatever country. And these people, and you can deny all you want, any woke liberal watching right now, and these people are coming into the country and are changing the direction, and not only that, affecting the people who live in the country in a very negative way. We have a government that does nothing for the people that live in this country, the average person living in the country. The people that are patriotic about the country are demonized. We have a government that punishes people for saying offensive things on the internet. Could you imagine the people from back then seeing what's going on with that sort of stuff? You know what? They would arrest the veterans today for their opinions. That's how weak, soft, cowardly our country has become. And do you know why we're in the state we're in? One of the biggest reasons is because people today are so scared of being labelled a buzzword. People are so scared, for example, of being called racist. They would rather avoid that than say the truth. I said this in a previous video. People want change in this country, right? But it's not going to happen unless you lose that mindset, unless you lose the fear of being called racist. Who cares, man? If somebody wants to call me racist for an opinion I have, great. Don't care. I'm racist. Whatever. Doesn't affect me. If the country had that sort of mindset, we would change things very rapidly. There are genuinely people, like woke liberals, activists, who would rather let our country fall even further, a country that so many people sacrifice their lives for, just so we can continue down the road of insanity, so we can continue down the road of diversity. Oh, it's our strength. Really? Is it? Shut up. No, it's not. We have allowed diversity and everything else, the woke agenda, to take so much control that these veterans are looking around like the one we heard and saying, this isn't the country I fought for. I mean, if you brought back those veterans today and you walked them through the streets of London, they would not even recognize the country they're in. They would be like, wait, are you sure we're in England right now? This isn't the country people fought for. There's no freedom of speech any longer. There's no freedom any longer. You get arrested for saying the most timid things on the internet. Is it any wonder we have a veteran here who says, you know, it doesn't look like it was worth it? And as somebody else said, if they could see the state our country's in today, they probably wouldn't even have fought at all. Everything they fought for, everything our country stood for is gone. It is lost. And again, until people just grow a spine, a backbone, and get rid of this fear of upsetting people and do what needs to be done, nothing will change. Nothing will change. You know, it's just insane to me that people really have allowed our country to sink so low. And it just continues to fall even further. My heart really does ache for this veteran, because you can hear the pain in his voice when he says that, and that's the worst thing. The pain he is going through when he says that, you can feel that. And then he sits there and he thinks about all the people that have been lost, the lives that were sacrificed, and the sadness he must feel to see the state our country is in. It's just insane. And if I'm honest, I don't think it's going to get any better anytime soon. I actually think it's going to get worse, a lot worse, before it gets any better. But leave your thoughts down below, ladies and gentlemen, on what you heard. What are your thoughts on this veteran saying the things that he did say? I'd like to know. If you have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video. Share this video. But until next time, it has been your host, JD. Have a great day, stay safe, and I'm out. Peace.